Shalom.
Shalom.
This is GMS New Orleans camp, back with another Friday lesson. Before we get started, I want to give infinite honors and prayers to
Yahweh
I double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, and salutations to the believers spread across the four corners. Alright, and what I want to get into is just us walking the kingdom down because as things are going on, man, we just getting closer and closer to that day. Alright, and we don't have much longer, so we just gotta keep going and keep enduring until we get there. It's already set up for us.
That's Revelation 2, verse 25. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come.
Yeah, we gotta hold fast, until Yahushua, until we get delivered, man. We gotta hold it tight because the world is strong, man, and it could be stripped from us. So we gotta diligently watch. We gotta stay on our watchtowers. We gotta be on point. To the most minute thing, man, because we can fall away. From anything, any little slip up. We not gonna be perfect. But we gotta be circumspect. On the things that we're doing. Alright, the decisions we making. Because we gotta prioritize receiving our promise.
It said, verse 20.
I got that word, hold fast. It's the word hold fast in the Strong's, G2902. Credo. All right, it says, when we get to the point, the second definition, it says to get possession of, to take hold of, to take or seize, to lay hands on one in order to get him into one's power, to hold in the hand, to hold fast, not discard or let go, to keep carefully and faithfully, to continue to hold, to retain, to hold in check, to restrain. So, with this truth, what we have to hold on to, it says to keep carefully and faithful, which is the word, which is what Yahushua has given us through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, all right, which is this word, all right, take on not Revelation, Isaiah 33:6, that wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of the dollar times, man. You see, and this is what we have to hold fast to. But go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, and we got to seize it because we fighting for this, man.
Yeah.
We fighting for it. Jacob fought the angel, right? For that blessing, man. So we gotta have that. We gotta have that same tenacity, right? That same rightness. So we gotta really want it, bro, to get it.
If I can add to you, that bend but don't break.
Yep.
Because obviously in this captivity that we're in, and we take it blow by blow, and this is a heavy weight. Whatever weight division is even higher than that, because it's that spiritual fight that we're in. But bend but don't break, man. We all taking punches out here, but it's to keep on holding on until you fight. And, listen for the Lord to come back and keep us over.
This is Revelation 2, verse 26. And he that overcometh and keeping my words unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
Yep. Yeah, so we gotta overcome, man. We gotta overcome the wiles of the devil. We gotta overcome these battles that we have, man. Because we ain't gonna be perfect. We're gonna take a couple L's, which is really gonna be lessons. Alright, but we gotta win. We gotta win. How the saying go? It's like the battle, we win the war. Yeah. So there's gonna be some battles that we lose, man. Ultimately, we gotta win the war. Alright, that's what's gonna come. We gotta win the whole thing.
Yeah. But then on 6 we mainly at going ourselves. That's the man that America. Yeah, man in America.
Yep. That's our biggest enemy.
This is the book of real quick. This Sirach chapter 4, 28. It says, "Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight."
Yep.
Strive for the truth unto death. All right, that's having that mental stability, that willpower to have in your mind that, man, I'm willing to die behind this. What I believe behind the 44 100% that all these brothers around you and you believers that are watching, we willing to put our life down on this thing, man. But we know that if our mindset is in that form, we know that the Lord, as I said, that the Lord is going to fight for you. All right, so we're going to have the ultimate backup, the ultimate cheat code riding with us, so we can endure and walk that kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah, because we would portray blue and in control everything already, so we gambling with loaded dice, bro. The odds already tilted in our favor.
Right. Scriptures say that the law shall grant you. It's not going to be beaten in its power in its presence. So I got a quick precept back in this is 1 John 5 and verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith." Verse 5, it says, "Who is he that overcometh the world? But he that believeth that Yahweh Shai is the son of the power." Right? So that was going back into what? Those the elect men, getting the kingdom of heaven. And what do we try? Right? Because, basically we're coming up against everybody else on the planet Earth. They're not in the truth. So they're basically our adversaries. They're our enemies, man. So and that's what we have to overcome, man. Everybody else coming up against us. If you're not following the true doctrine of Yahweh Shai, or if you're in the world, you automatically counted as an enemy of the Most High. So what David said, "I count them all thy enemies. They hate thee or hate." So if you're not following the truth, all right, you in the world, you basically professing that you hate God. Yeah, that's the ways of men.
Yeah, because you love them less. You love the world more than you love the Lord. You really don't love the Lord, bro.
That's it.
Alright, but
Yes, sir.
we have one, bro.
Yeah. Matthew chapter 24.
I want to see some slides. I want to see something else. Because you said something about he that overcome it. Hezekiah. He that overcome it. I want to see something.
You want me to get you again?
Yeah.
All right. This is 1 John 5 and verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world, and this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith." Verse 5, it says, "Who is he that overcometh the world? But he that believeth that Yahweh Shai is the son of the power."
Everybody else, 2/3 is slated for death. There's only a remnant, that's gonna overcome the world because they gotta get saved, man. Alright, so we want to be a part of that number. That's why we gotta make our part of the election sure. Alright, we don't want to die with these niggas, man. These niggas out here, these YNs, they walking their brothers down with the Drake they say, with the Drake, the Draco, but we walking the kingdom down, man, in righteousness. Alright?
I want to say something too, like that. If we up the elect, man, we already won already. You know what I'm saying?
We already got that.
Yeah, that's some motivation we gotta have. You know what I'm saying? Because we're about to go into the times we're about to go into, man, we're about to fight for our lives. But at the end of the day, man, we know for a fact we'll the elect, we already won already. Because it's in the city.
Yeah, all we gotta do is have faith and believe. Everything else gonna handle itself, man, because the Lord in control.
Matthew chapter 24, and verse 13. It said, "But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved." So one thing about it, we're going to go through these levels of adversity, trials and tribulations. The Lord said, you got to come to what persecution, you got to come to what suffer, deny yourself. Everybody look like, I'm not going to make it, but the Lord said, you're going to keep persevering. The Lord had to suffer, you also shall suffer. So that's what we told right now. Great persecution. You're going to go through a lot of adversity that you think that you might not make it through. That's why your faith is going to be tried, inside, endure, constant persevere, constant persecution. But the Lord told you, you're going to direct the step.
I can add to you, I like to bring up this analogy because it's something physically that I went through, physically and the mental challenge that I went to in the military. What we going through, doing our rucks, the best feeling that you could ever feel when you're going through that struggle is looking to your left and right and seeing that your brothers is pushing with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just once you get in that mindset and know that all right, this could be done, that gives you the ultimate confidence boost. All right, and what's the biggest confidence boost that we have? You mentioned it. Your house shot. All right, your house shot already proved that you can go through. You can go through. You can make it. It's light at the end of that tunnel.
What you say? I overcome the world. Yeah.
I got a piece of it. There's First Peter 5:8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." It's the point. It says, "Who resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world." So in the same chapter, Apostle Paul, or not Peter, Paul, but Peter, he spoke about being sober, being vigilant, all right, as we were going through what? Satan trying to throw his snares, throw his attacks out, all right, spiritual attacks. He might put demons on, people around you, all right? Sure. But you have to be sober, you have to be vigilant about it, right? And what's so important about communication within the brotherhood is that it says, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren. You see, so like the brother said, you might be going through something, but you look on your left and your right, and look, brothers is going through things with you, man. You see, brothers have their own afflictions. Brothers have their own trials, tribulations that they're going through. You see, but it's a faith booster to know. Look, I can get on the phone with this brother. We could break bread. I can vent. You see, because the same afflictions are accomplished in all of us. We all helping each other get on the chariot, man. But go ahead.
I can tell you, because from each other's point of view, we look at another brother almost like a superhero. Like, damn, bro, like you handled that. Yeah. I don't know if I could have handled that, brother. And vice versa, brother. Like, damn, brother, that was your situation. Yeah. I don't know if I could have did that. Yeah. But knowing that we, in the spirit, that's some mighty men qualities, right? That you're handling, bro. So it's like, yeah, all right, yeah, let's get tough. But you got. Oh, you want the
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 17. It says, "A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity."
Yeah, brother. Somebody did that great adversity right there. Yep, and a brother is born for adversity, man. Because we're gonna have hardships that come our way. Because it took to get out of here, man. The snares, the traps, the obstacles, it ain't gonna never stop, bro. Right? Alright? And it's only gonna get harder and harder as we go. Alright, so that's why we gotta build that strong team. Let's try to get on the chariot, man. Alright?
It's the word adversity in the online etymology. It says the condition of misfortune, hardship, difficulty, distress, adversity, calamity. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Turn against a hostile.
Yeah, it is difficult to walk in this thing alone, man. That's a scary thing. To be alone in this thing because the world is wrong, bro. Alright? We balance each other out, man. A brother could point out things that you might know you might not know that you bugged out. Alright? Or you might not know that you kind of, you slipping away. And a brother will redirect your path, your steps. Alright? And help you get back on track. So you might need to vent, let off some steam, whatever like that. And all that's is helpful, man. It helps us get back on track, it helps us get right back focused. Alright, and give us the faith and the confidence to keep going. Alright.
I got something about the shot. Okay, about the shot. It's Ecclesiastes 4 in verse 9. Wait, hold on. Yeah, it's Ecclesiastes 4:9. Let me double check here. It says that. Oh, okay. It says I'm trying to see if I need to go up, but that's cool. It's Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 4, verse 9. It says, "Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one lifts up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he had not another to help him up.
Yeah, two is better than one, man. I have to order him that is alone, because he had no one to say he had no one to lift him up, right? Yeah, man. So that's what we got the brothers for, man. To lift each other up, to help each other, man. To be each other aid. Alright?
I was going to say really quickly because we have a lot of people out there that subpar believe in the truth, and they come with that lone wolf spirit. It's like, yeah, I don't want to be a part of a camp. I don't like the idea of what you guys are doing. I don't, I'm not really against you, but I'm against you. You know what I'm saying? And I got a quick precept, real quick. This is Proverbs 27:17. It says, "Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend." And I'm gonna read the same one in the GNT. It says, "People learn from one another, just as iron sharpens iron." So, like, the brothers, was saying, hey, look, we all have, our different past lives, what we did in our past for experiences. We come into the truth. So, this brother has something he went through. That's his filter. That's his gauge. And I learned from stuff that he's done, and he's learned from stuff that I did, and so on and so forth. It's passed down.
Yeah, and this is iron sharper than iron. Because just like the you just brought out the shop in Ecclesiastes 4:9. Alright, if we don't have a brother on our side to sharpen us, we'll go dull.
Yeah.
Alright?
Yeah. That's why I said, woe to him that is alone. Because when you don't have it got more too. Baruch Shah, verse 11. Ecclesiastes 4:11. It reiterates the point. It says, again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him. And the threefold cord is not quickly broken. In which, like, you can't lose with having a brother on your side versus having no one on your side, man. You're gonna be in big trouble, man. And if you don't got a brother on your side and you don't got the Lord on your side, then woe to you, man, because you're gonna be destroyed. Good.
If I can also back you up too, brother, that's ultimately, just speaking on experience, because I would claim myself to be in the back in the world as a lone wolf. That's a fucking demon.
Yeah.
That's a demon, man. Because ultimately that's coming with being a lone wolf comes from pride. You just mentioned Hezekiah. Brothers don't want to come to camp with their team on their own. And ego, and I don't think I mess around these men like Satan going crazy. I don't believe I can mess around these men like that, and this is just my journey that I need to do by myself. But obviously go to the scriptures, so the Lord not with them. All right, He's not with them at all.
Yeah, the Lord is totally different vibrations than that, bro.
Yeah.
See, where is that? Is it Corinthians? We talk about our charity. Like, it might be 10.
Yeah,
13 or 13. You was in that 13.
Yeah. I'm on 10.
It's at the beginning of 13. It's like,
Yeah, it's not a good shot.
This is,
So, charity separate. My goodness, second Corinthians. It's first Corinthians.
Okay. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and 2. It says, though I have the gift of prophecy, prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I can remove mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing.
That's it. And charity is going into brotherly love, man. Alright, we gotta love the man on side of us, man. We gotta love our brothers. Because how can you love your brother? If you can't love a man on side, it's a scripture that says, I'm all over it. But yeah, if you can't love your house side, you can't love a man right on, he tell you can touch him. Right. How you can love the heavenly, the Lord, man? You can't.
That's it. If I could add, because you in the flesh with your brother. Like, you see your brother throughout the week, you see him every week, and you saying, oh, I love the Lord more than I love this brother. Well, how you going to love the Lord more than you love this brother? You ain't seen the Lord. This man right here going through the same shit with you. All right? He fighting for the same crown, trying to help you get on a chariot. But,
That's it.
You know, you just
Two is better than one.
Yeah, you mistreating them, but you're supposed to treat them how you would see, how you would treat the Lord, man.
Said treating your brother as your homicide, man.
Lord is an example, you know. He walked on the earth, you know, show you what you do. Show you how to conduct yourself, you know, love thy brother. If you love yourself, you know. But I got something right quick, man. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12 said, Beloved, said, think it's not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. So you're going to go through all kind of hell. So, you know, all sorts of adversity, you know, like you might lose your job, you might, your family member, stuff like that, you might get into it with them, you know, you might go through a divorce, you might get some death, man, all sorts of calamity. One thing about it, you know, you still got to, you know, constant persevere in His truth, because you're going to go through these fiery trials, because the Lord's constantly what? Purging you, you know, He's constantly making you better. That fine gold of your hour about you got shot. You got something.
It's saying things not strange.
That's it. Don't take it strange.
Yeah, don't be surprised.
You don't know. You might be like, I might leave another day. My damn house might burn down inside. Oh my God, I'm out of truth. I can't do this no more. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said that to try you. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord, you know, He got power over poverty. He got power over riches. So life and death. So He gonna love you. He gonna try you. See what you gonna do. See how much this man love me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put it in this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he loved this woman right here. She's very fine. She's very precious to him. I'm gonna take her away. Let's see how he gonna deal with that. You see him go out there and stand 10 toes down for her. He gonna fold up. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord looking for. He's looking for those souls. You know, so I got a little bit more on that, but that's what we got to do. We got to constantly what? Suffer. We got to constantly deny ourselves. You know, a lot of times you might have a thought, whatever, like, that thought come to you, you let me know I can't. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you'll be right back in the world, just like a blink of an eye. You know, so we got to be careful. You know, we got to constantly, you know what I'm saying, keep our eyes on the prize, which in fact is the kingdom of heaven. Verse 13 said, but 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 13 said, but rejoice in so much as ye are partakers of the Hamashiach suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. So the Lord said, hey, behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me. So when the Lord show up, hey, you kept the pace, you kept so, you stood up. I mean, what did it say, that who would stand up against me, the workers of iniquity? You know what I'm saying? You stood up for the Lord. You stood what? Stiffly for the Lord. You like say, hey man, look, whatever, I don't give a damn in death. I don't care what happened. And the Lord tried you all kind of ways. Man, this man happy. He can't be, he unmoved. You know what I'm saying? So when the Lord show up, he say, hey man, bring him over here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead, you got something.
Yeah, come on. That's why I said rejoice.
Rejoice.
Yeah, because the Lord called us.
Our salvation at the door. Yeah.
We got some man, it's bigger than life.
Yeah. So we almost at the finish line, and I see a lot of people, they'll like, look at it like, they be right there. It's right there in front of them. They're like, you know what? That's it. They run out of gas. Man, you were right there, and then give up. The Lord wants you to go all the way over to the finish line, even in death. What did he say in Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10? He said, even in death, I will give you a crown of life. So y'all, you got it, man. That's a lot for you.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and 13. It says, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will, with the temptation, also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
Yeah, and we gotta understand that, because that's an extreme faith booster, bro. That's why you gotta believe in the scriptures, bro. Because he's telling you, whatever I put in front of you is not too much for you. Like, it ain't, like, it may seem hard, it may seem uncomfortable, you know, at the time, but you can get it, man. You could do it, all right? And then it says, the part where it says, beginning,
have no temptation taken you, but such as common to man.
yeah, because a brother probably went through, all right? He probably going through that same situation twice as extreme as you.
Right.
All right, but you see him still pushing. You know, he's still confident. All right, so that'll boost your faith, man, so you can keep going. All right, that's why we gotta cherish our brothers, bro.
Right, so it's going to say that temptation was common to them. Meaning that there's people that came before you that had the same things, you know what I'm saying, same issues. You know what I'm saying?
That is not. There's no reason to be in a war with me spirit, bro. We can do it. We got the brotherhood. All right, we got the comfort of the scriptures. Your house side.
Right, I got a quick precept. This is Philippians 4, verse 13. It says, I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthens me. You know, and that's, you know, going through, man, going through trials, you know what I'm saying, the adversities, different calamities. Like your brother saying, that war is new type spirit, we're feeling down and out. And at the end of the day, you know, there's nothing we can't do, man. The possibilities are really endless with you, man. We got them on your side. You know?
Yeah, we ain't out, we ain't down for the count, bro. You know, especially, you know, we just gotta push, bro, because I did, bro, things happening, bro. We getting closer and closer to that time, bro. It may seem like it's, you know, it's tarrying, alright, but when things really start to get, it's gonna get severe, bro. Alright, so that's why we gotta be patient to continually suffer, and we gotta rejoice in it, because we ultimately being built up for them when times get harder and harder and harder, bro. Alright.
Yeah, another thing too, like we already made this far. You know what I'm saying? So why give up now? There ain't ways to go back. Just fall back, man. There's nothing in the back, man.
There's nothing left.
So we gotta keep on forward, man.
It don't matter how hard it get. It ain't nothing. It's a burning bridge back there. You just gonna get burned with it, like. So you just wasting all your time just to go back and just fall away. Alright? We have no continuous city here, so we just going back to nothing, to death.
Keep that big stick like off the side off the nature. I know it's real.
He knew the truth, yeah. He still wanted to go back to it. It all returned to the wrong garden. I was just thinking that money. I got good stuff. Okay, good.
It's Proverbs 25. 4. It says, take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel of fire.
Yep. And we that silver, man. Alright, that draws that's those imperials. Alright? So the law to draw that out by putting us through putting us in that furnace. You know, and he'll let us sit in there for a little bit, man. But it's ultimately what we're going through when we get in that furnace, it's just refining us, it's making us stronger. Alright, it's building us up.
Yeah.
Rock 2 and this Rock 2 and 5. It says, gold is tried in the fire and acceptable man in the furnace of adversity.
Yeah, man, that's what makes us accept to go through these things for the Lord, you know, and not turn out, you know, because shit get hard. You would be like, damn, Lord, why you fucking me up right now? Why you doing me like this? And you'll keep your faith, man, and that'll build your relationship up with the Lord, man. Like, man, I went through that. I could get through anything. That'll build your confidence up. All right.
Because what is it? Say that statement you made again?
First part.
The last part, like, why?
Oh, like, yeah, Lord, why you fucking me up? Like, why you doing me like this?
Yeah. And this is the reason why right here. It's Sirach. All right, Ecclesiasticus in Apocrypha chapter 6, verse 7. It says, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. You know, and which, you know, we use this as a scripture for brothers. But if we're going to be friends of Yahushua, what he got to do? He got to prove us, right? Like I said, the furnace proveth the potter's vessel, all right? Then what a Lord got to prove us, let me throw something at him, see if he really going to stand on business. You see? Exactly. Yahushua stood on business for us. Yeah. So now it's time for us to return the favor. See, for us to even have a chance to be in this truth, to call on the name of Yahweh Shai. All right? You know? But go ahead.
Yeah, because he that example, he that trail, he set the way for us. He set
The
the
trailblazer,
path.
yeah.
Yeah, he the trailblazer, man. I just says accept the read that 2 and 5.
Sirach chapter 2, verse 5. It's tried with fire, except the furnace of aversion.
Okay, put that most acceptable that was put in the furnace of adversity. I was shot. Alright? So he out rolling, man. If he could do it, we can do it, bro. If we believe in him.
Just back up what you just said. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6. You mentioned something again about the Lord proving you. This is Sirach chapter 6 and 7.
He just brought it up. He just brought it up.
Yeah. How far you read? How far you read?
I read 7
7 to 8?
Yeah, you can
Yeah, so like, let me continue reading.
That's how to back that up too.
Yeah. There's Sirach 6 and 9. It says, and there is a friend being turned to enmity and strife will discover thy reproach. But get this in the GMS gospel. It says,
got it?
Yeah, I got it. It says, and there be is like Sirach 6 and 9, and there is a friend being turned to enmity and strife will discover thy reproach. Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. But in thy prosperity he will be as thyself and will be bold over thy servants.
Yeah, because in thy prosperity though, when everything all good,
Yeah.
you see, but when things start going south, he ain't nowhere to be found, man.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead.
It says, if thou be brought low, he will be against thee and will hide himself from thy face. Separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. A faithful friend is a strong defense.
Yes.
He that hath found such in one hath found a treasure.
Yes.
Nothing does countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable. Can't even put a number to it. It's invaluable.
It's invaluable.
If you got you a rider with you, a true brother, which you believe that we are, all right, and we continue in this faith and who the Lord is recruiting, you know, for this audition for to become of the hopefully elect. You know, and this is an invaluable number that you can put on these men that are around you, man. That's how much you gotta cherish shit. Cherish this even more. But it says a faithful friend.
If I could read that last part again, it said invaluable.
It says nothing does countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable.
Right. So his excellency is invaluable. All right. Which we know ultimately that faithful friend that we have is hope. That's all we shot. So go ahead, brother.
Just real quick. This is John 15 and verse 15. It says, henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what the Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you.
Yes.
That's it. Let me get this in the GNT real quick. This is that Sirach chapter 6 and 9. Sirach 6 and 9 in the GNT. It says, others will fall out with you over some argument and then embarrass you by letting everyone know about it. Others will sit at your table as long as things are going well. They will stick to you like a shadow and give orders to your service, but they will not stand by your trouble.
And that's not a faithful friend.
Yeah.
Because a man will do that. The Lord will have him, you know, everything going smooth, everything going good, and then he will strike him, and then he loses who he throw his whole fate away, bro. Because you was never a faithful friend.
Right. Go ahead. It says, others, verse 12, it says, if your situation takes a turn for the worse, they will turn against you, and you won't be able to find them anyway. Stay away from your enemies and be on guard against your friends. You know, that's saying, keep your enemies close. So, keep your friends
enemies close and your friends close.
It says, stay away, so like verse 14, a loyal friend is like a safe shelter to find when you have found the treasure. Nothing else is as valuable. There is no way of putting a price on it. A loyal friend is like a medicine that keeps you in good health. Only those who fear the Lord can find such a friend. Come on, man.
And those who fear the Lord, they're the only ones who gonna find that complete friend.
Yes.
All right, because they're gonna love you with a perfect love. You know, like can't nobody, bro. Listen, bro, the people in the world, they don't serve the Lord. Our family members don't serve the Lord. So they can't really love you completely. Alright? They can love you, but they can't love you how a brother will love you. Because a brother gonna love you according to what? The fulfilling of the law, keeping the commandments. So it's nothing greater than that. It's no love greater than that.
Yeah, that law is all about the brother.
It's the next verse. Everything y'all about just said in the next verse. Sirach 6:17. A person who fears the Lord can make real friendship.
Yes.
Because he will treat his friends as he does himself.
That's on time.
Learn from wisdom.
Yeah, man.
I got something right here. It's back in John 15:12. It says, this is my commandment. It's read that as Yahweh speaking. That ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love had no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, greater love have no man than this, man. Read it again, brother.
It's John 15:12. It says, this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you.
Yeah, we gotta love each other, bro.
And which is the fulfilling, going to the scriptures, man, the fulfilling of the law, forgiving our brother 70 times 7. All right? You don't necessarily have to be, you're not going to be buddy with every brother.
Offenses,
all right?
No offense is going to come.
And offense is going to come,
yes.
You know? But it's necessary that you show your love to the brother by doing what? Going to the scriptures. Forgiving them and treating them and truly being sincere and having charity, man. You know? So
and that's why we have faith and we trust, because I believe you, brother, serve the Lord.
Right.
So I don't even think that's one of y'all, like, you know. I'm on guard around my family. Yeah. I'm talking about my closest ones. You know, big parents. Yeah. It don't matter. It could be parents, siblings, aunties, and uncles. Alright? If they don't serve the Lord, you know, they'll misuse you, or they'll mistreat you, or they'll snake you. Alright? They just flawed, bro. It's common.
Heartbreak is common when you go with your family. They don't get against it. I expect that type of nigga he is. Right. You know, it only hurts you the most when that come from what you call a brother. They'd be like, oh no, like that hit a little hard.
Now we got to deal with this though.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
See, that's the difference from the truth and in the world. People do shit, get away, and they not held accountable. You see, by us dealing with the truth and Yahweh Shai, you got to be held accountable. You know?
And then and then when they do shit, if you let them do it, it's only gonna become more severe. It's only gonna become more. It's only gonna occur more often because they don't fear nothing, bro. Right. They don't have no laws or morals that they abide by. They don't serve the Lord. Alright, so they'll do you the worst way. Our family, bro, when persecution come, our family's gonna turn on. They gonna turn on us, bro. Yes. All right. So that's why the Lord said we gotta be able to forsake our family. This is our family, bro.
Shit too, yeah. What makes us true? Makes us they sincere. You know, Jay went to the brotherhood and said, "Hey, fear the Lord." So basically, the law is about the brotherhood. So we know, hey, we mess up with a brother. That's judgment for that, man. Judgment for that. So, hey, Lord, don't blame. You know, for that, especially if we believe that, hey, every brother is out of shot, he's going to be glad.
What's the scripture? What done to the least?
Yeah, great minister. Yeah, great minister.
18:6.
I see that? Yeah, I got this. Go ahead. Because you made a statement and didn't think about the scripture. It's Matthew 12:46. It says, while he had talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him. God. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren.
For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
Yeah, that's the real family.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause we got relatives, we got family, bro. A lot of people we just related to them, brother. This all family though. Alright? This what that perfect love and the fear of the Lord about it.
All right, quick. Kind of back it up. It's in verse 29. I'm starting with it's Matthew 19 and verse 28. And it says, And Yahweh shall say unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which follow me in the regeneration, for the Son of Man shall sit on the throne of his glory. Ye shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 29. And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive an hundredfold, and shall inherit everlasting life. Yeah, man. So just like the brothers are going into, man. You know, the true family is right here, man. Standing in front of you. You know, the men, you know, that you're breaking bread with in this truth, okay? Like you said, your mothers, your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, all of them are gonna, you know, turn their back against you, man. So it behooves you to, you know, forsake them for the truth, man. Because you're gonna receive, you know, the kingdom of heaven. You know, you be a part of that number.
She might go bring the baby kingdom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or they might be delivered by your works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, the Lord have mercy on them, you know, because of the works that you did. Yeah. But you had to be the one to do it.
And I don't care if you my family, but if you doing wrong by me, I'm gonna let the Lord handle that, brother. Just be sincere, bro. I don't give a damn if my family or not. But yeah, man, look, imagine becoming a king and a ruler, like for the Lord. Alright, in the world, you know, down here, okay, the process of becoming a king, you know, is rigorous. You gotta even quarterly, you gotta kind of forsake your family. You gotta love them less, because to become a king, you gotta go through. You gotta really lock in, basically. All right, you gonna be isolated. You gotta learn. Probably gotta learn languages. You gotta learn how to, you know, different ways to discern things. You know, the whole process of becoming a king is rigorous, and we doing that spiritually. You know.
Right, and just to add on to what you were saying, who was the first person King Solomon had to take out? His brother. He was the first person he had to take out because his brother basically tried to usurp the throne. You know, put it in his own. But that was his brother, though.
Yeah.
That was the first thing he did.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah. Got this something here. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 13. It said, Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go thereat. So, you know, a lot of people, they don't want to have no type of stress, worry, go through any type of adversity. You know, they want that happy-go-lucky life, Lord, love me. They want to be saved. They don't have no strength. They want to be friends of the world. The Lord already said that the wisdom of the world is foolishness. And the one that it's only one way to the kingdom of heaven is that straight and narrow path, which in fact is going to have levels and adversity. On the left side, the right side, you can't back up, you can't go left, you can't go right. You got to go one way. It's forward. You falter that way, then you can fall into the world. So that's that problem. So a lot of people don't want to suffer. Man, I can't do this shit, man. This is too boring to me, man. I just can't do it, man. Something about you is wrong. Go ahead, man. You got it?
Yeah, like, man, they got something too. You got to sacrifice your family.
That's it. That family go with it. The Lord said, what? Your family will be your what? Your worst enemy. Your worst nightmare. They gonna be the one that turn you in. Yeah, I know. What do they call themselves? Z Doc and Rum. you know, this man here, you know, he gonna talking about the white man, the devil. He right over there. You know what I'm saying? For a damn pack of cigarettes, a bag of food, any damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Quick fix, a pack of cigarettes, can you use any damn thing? You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't seeking the Lord. You down like that. You seeking the Lord, you seeking to get that. And well, some mercy. You know, so a lot of people right now, they you know what I'm saying? They easy, fast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's
I got you. This is just adding on to it.
yeah.
Raw game, right?
Yeah.
Say why.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? Now watch this. It says this is the word Catholic. It says the word comes from the Greek meaning through the whole. It says that is universal, worldwide, all inclusive. And when you go to the synonyms for it, it says diverse, diversified, wide, broad, broad-based, broad-minded. Okay, you know, and it said many go into it, man.
That's it.
You know, just backing up what you was talking
You know
about.
what I'm saying? They like that, they glamour. You know what I'm saying? The lights, you know, the hats and the cap, they love it. You know, something quick, fast. You know what I'm saying? You know, oh man, I love this here, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything is fine, it's lovely. You know, but when you come in this truth, you know what I'm saying? You go what? Catch hell. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to catch no hell. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to go through nothing. You know what I'm saying? They gonna, like you might say, shit, man, you might lose every damn thing. But what am I gonna do? You know, people that's in, you know, that's in the world, what they gonna do? They might jump off a cliff or something, commit suicide. You know, because they don't what? Have what? Faith. You know what I'm saying? It's a faith belief that we into. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, man.
Which is why I say it's at the straight
Game. You got
If you go into that word straight, it
Yeah.
means a position of difficulty.
Yeah.
So the truth ain't gonna be easy to get through this way. That's why the brother Rod Sirach too. But thou come to serve the Lord.
Yeah, you got it.
Prepare thy soul for
I got
temptation.
it. You got it.
Read it. Get it. Read it out again.
Book of Sirach, chapter 2, from the top, it says, my son, thou serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. For temptation.
Break it down.
Sirach 2, top, and it says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. God, like you were saying, it's mandatory that we go through things in the truth.
Yeah.
God, and you can kind of do some more with this. It said, verse 2, it says, set thy heart aright and consistently endure.
Constantly.
Constantly. So like constantly endure, make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest increase at thy last end.
Right, and which ultimately, when we be increased, it's gonna what? Be new bodies, salvation. All right, being kings and rulers on the planet Earth, reigning under Yahushua. All right, and in the many mansions to come. See, go ahead, though.
Yeah, these times, hey, we increase faith, man.
That's it.
No, hey, that's what it's about, man. It's about, hey, man, having that more faith, man. Faith for the time to come.
See, you read that part where it say, take it cheerfully, right?
No.
Like, get that point and get one.
That's the next verse. Verse 4 says, whatsoever is brought upon you, take cheerfully.
Alright.
That's Romans 8.
Read that whole verse.
Whatsoever is brought upon you, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
That's Romans 8, verse 17. It says, and if children, then heirs on the both sides, and joint heirs, when you outshine, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
And that's why we gotta take it cheerfully, bro. Alright? Won't be brought down. Because the inheritance we about to receive, alright, the salvation and all the perks that it comes with, it ain't even much more compared to the trials and tribulations that we went through during this time, man. And ultimately we suffering for righteousness' sake. Alright? We ain't suffering because we wicked or for nothing wicked, bro. You know.
Yeah, man, we trying to get that incorruptible crown.
That's it. And that's why the Lord said, the light affliction is just only for a moment. It's a blink of the eye. You can. We'll be able to keep it, you know. Yeah, that's what we shopping for. You know.
This is Corinthians. I had something else. Just backing up what y'all just did. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 1 and 6. It says, and whether we be afflicted, it is for your consolation in salvation, which is effectual in the enduring of the same sufferings, which we also suffer. Or whether we be comforted, it is for your consolation and salvation. And our hope of you is steadfast, knowing that as ye are partakers of the sufferings, so shall ye be also of the consolation. Go.
That's just like two big ones you get put on. I'm going to make sure that the ones who was with me when I was in the mud, I'm making sure they get right to me.
That's it.
Right? Because they was with me when I ain't had shit. When I was at when I was in when I wasn't in prosperity, man. Right?
Let me get this another word real quick. This word effectual. Go deep. It says effectual. This is the regular definition of something inanimate or abstract, successful in producing a desired or intended result. All right, so it's pretty much it's mandatory. All right, so for something to be effectual, let's read that again. Whether we be afflicted is for your consolation and salvation, which is effectual, which is mandatory, or demanded. So it's demanded right here in this captivity that we can go through our salvation only to receive. So like go through affliction to get our salvation, our consolation. So,
Yeah. But ain't nothing you gotta work. We have to work for everything. Ain't nothing given to you. So you think we just about to receive, a reward like that we can't even fathom how great it's gonna be without one feeling for it. We gotta go get that.
It's in Acts, I think it's 14 and 22. It says, through much tribulation shall we enter the kingdom.
That's not gonna be easy, bro. It's not gonna be easy path to obtain that inheritance. That's it.
Rightfully so, because we gonna appreciate it that much more. Alright, because this time when we get it, we ain't gonna never at all from it again. Alright, so when we get it, we gonna maintain it. You got it.
Yes. I just want to say real quick. Boy, that's passed out like if you don't have any resistance on that, it's something's got to click in your mind that it's wrong. When you go into something that you're going through resistance, that means that it's going to benefit you once you make it out there.
Think about working out. Alright, you building the resistance is what's building you muscle. Alright, so if they didn't have no resistance, you wouldn't be able to grow.
This is 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 7. I'm going to read a little bit and I'll jump down to 17. It says, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels,
Yes.
that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. Verse 8 says, we are troubled. God damn. Yeah. 2 Corinthians 4 verse 7 says, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels.
Right. What's the treasure is what? It's the truth. The wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding, that's the true treasure. All right. It said in Proverbs 8:4, all right, that this is more precious than rubies. All right. What is better than if riches be desired, something to be desired in this life, but what is better than wisdom? You see, that's the treasure. All right. The earthen vessels is what? These bodies that we in, man. God damn.
I say too, yeah, that's what makes us the underdog, man.
Yeah,
that ain't being everybody out there listening. That's what makes us great being the underdog.
Yeah, that's it.
Like people look at us and think we just love nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like we think we just preaching this truth for nothing.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, man, this is much of an opportunity of a lifetime.
yeah, Jake don't know that they could potentially be talking to a man of the Lord. Man. One of the rulers and judges of the kingdom that's gonna reign on the earth forever. You know? They don't consider
CPP.
It's three.
three parts.
It says, 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 7 says, but we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. Verse 8 it says, we are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. Right? And then what are we talking about? Going through some adversity, catching hell. You know what I'm saying? Getting afflicted constantly. You know what I'm saying? Having to be patient, which is going into suffering. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to jump down to verse 17. It says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. You know, we understand we gotta, you know, we enter into a race, you know, and no matter what your trials and your tribulations are, you still gotta finish the race. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we're working toward what? Receiving a crown. Every man working for the kingdom of heaven.
I remember when we had a conversation over the phone when we was talking about running.
Yeah.
Working out to better your body. I told you, brother, in no way, shape, or form does it feel good. It's uncomfortable, brother. That shit hurts to run for a long time. It hurts, but the result is for it to build your body. But you know, that analogy of us running a race, it's not a race that we just sit there all calm and Jake got breath. Jake did probably didn't stop a couple times and try to, you know, gas themselves, brother.
It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So we seeing the finish line, but you don't want to start running too fast because you're gonna run out of energy, right? You know?
And then like shit, they trying to distract you, trying to stop you from being into the path. Yeah,
Slip a couple times. Over a hurdle. They got a total right there.
Like I said, it's a marathon, but I just started off way too fast. Now I'm tired. Now I gotta catch myself. Hold up, now I'm moving a little too slow. Let me speed up.
Yes, I think so. They can swift it.
Somebody get that. Let's go. I got something real quick. It's 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. It says, know ye not that they which all. God damn. There's 1 Corinthians 9, verse 24, it says, know ye not that they which run in the race run all, but one receiveth the prize. Run that he may obtain. Right? Pacing yourselves, running on the correct path so that what? You can ultimately get to what it's getting ready to say. Verse 25, and every man that's striving for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainty, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. So you got a purpose, you got something that you're trying to achieve, all right, with this race, all right, and this prize is ultimately going to be what? The crowns that Yahweh shall put on each one of these, the elect men heads, man, all right? And that's what we have to pace ourselves, constantly endure, so we can get to what? The kingdom, man. As the brother said, walking down the kingdom, you know? Go ahead, I got it.
That was it for that.
Yeah, that was the
I almost said jump down, yeah, jump down. Yeah, that's the verse.
It's a lot good. All right, verse 18. 2 Corinthians 4, verse 18, it says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So yeah, like, you know, the brothers are going into, you know, what are we striving for? You know what I'm saying? The scripture's talking about striving for masteries. You know, us giving the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know what I'm saying? Us enduring all these different afflictions. We're doing it so we can receive the kingdom of heaven. You know?
Yeah, still yeah, I want to say too, yeah, the other things that are temporal is the obstacles. Right. That's in our path. That's working towards the king. You know, that's hey, we can't see the king for a fall. But hey, we know for a fact in our mind we can make it there.
Right.
And that's that's what it's about, man. It's about having that motivation to make it towards the kingdom.
That's
You
it.
know what I'm saying? Ain't keeping our house on the prize.
Right, our journey is true. You know, the Lord placed little stumbling blocks. You know, and as we grow as men of the Lord, you know, Lord willing, will be at a number. You know, we remember those stumbling blocks we had in the past.
We're not worried about the stumbling blocks, man. We're worried about the kingdom, man.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're worried about making it to the kingdom, man. No matter what.
So, I forget what that race is. In a track event, usually you see like the Edomites running this shit.
Marathon.
No, not the marathon. It's something like that, but they also got couple
Steeplechase.
Steeplechase. Yeah, sometimes you gotta run hop over the water, you gotta hop over the, like you said, be familiar with it. So now we know that, all right, we done ran a couple laps now. Now we see, okay, this is fun jump. All right, I gotta do this right here. Boom, it's getting familiar, you know, in this race that we're running right now. You got it. Well, I got it.
So this Colossians 3 and 1. So the one that says, if ye then be risen with Hamashiach, seek those things which are above. For where Hamashiach sitteth upon the right hand of God, set your afflictions on the things above, not on things on the earth.
18. All right, 2 Corinthians 4:18, it says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen.
Yeah, it just said in the Colossians, the secret things that are above, man. All right, because we dead to this world. We know here we have no continuous city. All right, we know this is not our rest. All we have open is what's to come. All right, what we gonna receive from the Lord. That's it. All right, that's the only thing that can't fail us. All right, it can't be burnt up. It can't nobody take it from us if we are big enemies, man. So what we gotta do is we gotta examine ourselves, you know, whether we be in a faith that we may hold on and hold fast what we have, man, so we can receive those things. All right, that's all.
This 1 Corinthians 15 and 58, it says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the works of the Lord. For as much as ye know that your faith is not in vain. And I'm running on because, like you said, we focus on it because we know our work is not in vain. We're not in vain. So it's things that we're gonna receive from doing this.
Yeah, that's what we gotta be unwavering. Because the faith, all this shit ain't gonna be defended.
It's a reason why the Lord constantly throughout the scripture talks about the consecration and reward of things, right? Because if we're going through that work, you know, that worker is going to, you know, want a reward. And it's going to, you know, that's just ultimately, you know, the roundabout way to keep you motivated in some type of way because you know that, all right, once this is finished, a reward. I got a reward. If we had no reward behind this thing, you know, Jacob be putting behind this thing.
Whatever it is, Peter asked the house side, like, what shall we receive? What shall we receive, man? All right? And we know what we going to receive, man. The glory, all right? Everything, bro.
Everything costs.
Everything.
And then some, expansion.
But it says 2 Corinthians that I had not seen, ears had not heard the things which the Lord had that prepared for those that love Him. You know, and we can read it through the scriptures, we can visualize it, brothers have dreams, visions, right? But we ain't really gonna understand and fathom what it really is until we get to the kingdom to actually know and see. Oh, I was thinking about this, and then boom, the Lord gonna bless you with it, man. You know,
Man,
that's heavy, man.
we get that we still gonna be in awe.
Exactly, right?
Like, we can't, you know, that's the Lord, bro, His works is far beyond what we think, bro. It's not even.
That's motivation in itself.
Man,
The fact that we can't think of it, that's what makes you want to think of it even more.
Yeah,
What would be the first? Yeah, what would be the first? You see,
And then perfect. We still could walk like it's still we should blow it all mind.
I got something for you real quick, though. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and 4. It says, "But in all things, approving ourselves as ministers of Yahweh Shai, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distress, in stripes, in imprisonment, into tumults and labors, and watching and fasting, by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Ghost, by love and faith." I'm reading this NLT real quick. It says, "In everything we do, we show that we are true ministers of God. We patiently endure troubles and hardships and calamities of every kind. We have been beaten, been put in prison, faced angry mobs, worked to exhaustion, endured sleepless nights, and gone without food. We prove ourselves by our purity, our understanding, our patience, our kindness, by the Holy Spirit within us, and by our sincere love." Right? With we faithfully preach the truth, God's power is working in us. We use the weapons of righteousness in the right hand for attack, in the left hand for defense. Yeah. God, that's just everything that goes down the list of enduring. Enduring afflictions. All right. Obviously, we still younger bros in this thing. We haven't faced completely angry mobs. We dealt with a little something on now. Brothers, we too young to in this thing. We wasn't really cast in prison behind many things like that. But you got to think about the brothers beforehand. That been really went through some stuff, man.
And
Go ahead, so
I was about to say, you also got to think about us. All right, we've been through a couple things, the little things here and there.
Yeah.
But it ain't over. We got more things to go.
Yeah.
So those things gonna happen to us too.
It's not gonna happen.
that's what I was getting ready to say. Like, if that ain't happened to us yet,
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But it's prophesied in scripture to happen. You see,
Right. And what I want to say too, we go through all those things, man. We gotta understand that, man. The Lord, he's seeing that, all right? So he counting that towards our spiritual income.
That's
It's like one more verse. This is an NLT. It says, "We faithfully preach the truth. God's power is working in us. We use the weapons of righteousness in our right hand for an attack and the left hand for a defense.
yes.
We serve God whether people honor us or despise us, whether they slander us or praise us. We are honest, but they call us imposters."
That's
Come on, man.
That's gospel.
What this thing, right or wrong, man?
Right or wrong.
Not right or wrong, it's all right.
All
But-
right.
all right, but you know what I'm saying?
But look, even if it was so happen to be wrong, man, we with it. It don't matter. Because if this, which we know, we trust that this is it. But let's say it happened to be wrong, man. We still, man, this us. Like this it.
And which we know that this is right, man.
We
So,
know it's right. So look, man, if it was wrong, I'ma just down my sword on that. Ain't no turning back and going to nothing else, bro.
come on, man.
We fully committed to this, bro.
Go ahead. I was trying to fully suck with us, man. We believe that, man. All right. We believe that we have the apostles, that the Lord is dealing with them through the Spirit, and that it's been passed on down to us. We believe that wholeheartedly, man. And like the brother said, what they say, right or left?
It says, whether we really right, but it says in the scriptures, we serve God, whether people honor us or despise us.
Whether they honor us or despise us, because a lot of people despise this word.
Yes.
You see, so by them despising the word, they despise Yahweh. They despise his men as well. You see, the men that he set up in these latter times, man. The prophets, go ahead.
Whether they slander us or praise us.
Yeah, so we don't care, man. We know what we got at stake. We know what the reward is, But go ahead, y'all brothers got it.
First Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. In 9, it says, "For I think that Yahweh Shemiel Shai has set forth us the apostles last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world and to angels and to men. We are fools for Hamashiach's sake, but we are wise in Hamashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised.
even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place. In labor working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless, being persecuted, we suffer. Being defamed, we entreat, we are made as the filth of the world, and are the offscorn of all things unto this day.
And we're gonna be continue to be made the filth of the world, man. The lowly, the meek. Right? Because we got the faith. And the faith is gonna lead us into our reward. Alright, so we walking after faith, by faith, man. So get that right there. Because we're not doing that for no reason, bro.
This Hebrews 6 verse 10.
Yeah.
For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your works and labor of love, which ye have showed towards his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints that do minister.
Yeah, and that's that labor of love, man. Alright? And one thing about labor is working. It's rigorous, it's uncomfortable. Alright, we doing it when we don't feel like it. Alright, when we tired. Alright?
That's what it said. We feel like it.
Yeah,
That's it. We love this thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, hey, it's not grievous unto us, man. We doing it.
That's something that labor. Matthew chapter 9, verse 37 said, Then said he unto his disciples, said, The harvest truly is plentiful. It says, but the laborers are few. And with the few, that's the 11, what the true believers. Yeah, how gosh, you got child, the one that's comfortable with persevering, the one that these levels of adversity, trial and tribulation. You know what I'm saying? The one that, what I'm saying, going through that struggle. Verse 38, it said, Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers. You know what I'm saying? It's why the Lord said, bid into the marriage, that it's how to make people feel. You know what I'm saying? Well, we got to constantly persevere, right now. That we're close to the end, we're going to get an influence right then. You know what I'm saying? So, Lord, a lot of things might come in in the last hour. You know what I'm saying? We get close there, so the laborers, we here. Constantly laboring, constantly persevering, constantly believing, constantly building our faith, constantly getting purged each and every day. You spare the power. How about you? Lord, set the record straight. Hell, believe the report. The few, the one that's constantly laboring right now, the one they constantly what? Scoffing and mocking, constantly what? Despising. You know what I'm saying? What they hear, what they do for God. That's it. Give a damn what happened. Even in death, we already know. What did Paul say? Guess what? The crowd waiting on, what we looking for. Immortality, spiritual power. All we got to do, follow the blueprint what Yahweh shall. You lack of faith, only for a moment.
Just to back you up real quick, because it's a good point you made, because like you said, it's gonna be an influx of people coming in. Hey brother, a third of Israelites in America is a big number, brother.
Yeah.
Right? You got the 144 prophets and teachers, all right? And what's it? Oh yeah, you got a third of the elect in America. 1/3, that's a big number, brother. Like 33%, that's a big number. All right. Now we know that 66.6% of them gonna get put to death. But 33% is a good number. All right. But this you said something that made me think about this. It's John 4:23. It says, "But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. Our power is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth." That's it. See, and we at that hour now where the true worshipers are worshiping Yahweh by Shai in spirit and in truth, man. Go ahead. That's those laborers.
That's those laborers.
That's coming in that harvest,
Right. That's why the Lord said that's why the Lord said what 2 chapter 16, that he said you're gonna know who is among his chosen.
Yeah, then shall it be known.
Those who are chosen. I kind of put you. They gonna be known. So right now they being known. Who are the true believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashin Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
This is Matthew 20. 8. It says, So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, call the laborers and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. And when they came, they were hired about the 11th hour. So, man, you know what I'm saying? We have an influx of people coming up and trying to receive the truth. You know what I'm saying? People coming to believe in the word. You know what I'm saying? Enter into the wonderful vineyard. Right? They're coming in to the word.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
If by them believing, they still gonna get that penny.
That's it.
Right? Go ahead.
The third hour. This is Matthew 20 and verse 4. It says, and said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. Again, he went out about the sixth and the ninth hour, and did likewise. Verse 6. Verse 6, and it says, and about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and said unto them, why stand ye here all the day idle?
Right, in which the third hour, the sixth hour, the ninth hour, the 11th hour, it represents men coming in at their appointed times, man. Right? You got the elder apostles, they elders are coming in about the third hour, right? Or so. You got the elder apostles coming in, about the fourth, fifth hour, right? You got the elder bishops coming in the sixth hour, right? You got our elders, brothers been in 16, 17, 18, 19 years, coming in about the ninth hour, right? You got brothers like ourselves coming in, 4 or 5 years, that's the 11 hours, right? In which we at that 12th hour, in which we about to see that great influx, but this is all a parable in which Yahushua is saying, man. All right, so this represents men coming in at their appointed times, right? But the main point is that they came in what? And they started working. You see? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, that the fact that they started working, and like I said, they're gonna receive that same penny.
That's right.
No matter what time you came in.
Yep. Go ahead. Verse 7, it says, they said unto them, because no man hath hired us, he said unto them, go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. And when even was come, which is basically, destruction, midday, the noonday, that's what the scripture calls it. And it says, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, call the laborers and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. And when they came, they were hired about the 11th hour. They received every man a penny. And it says, but when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house, saying, these last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. Right? So what are they saying? They say, man, we put in the labor. We've been in here 20, 30, 15 years. And they basically pretty much getting the same portion we get. You know what I'm saying? We think we should get a little more. Right, they don't deserve that. But what did the Lord tell them? It says, verse 12, it says, saying, these last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden of the heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst not thou agree with me for a penny?
What's the penny in the kingdom of heaven? You agreed for salvation, which leads to the kingdom. Like, this is the penny. It ain't, you just gonna get saved by yourself. I'm gonna doctor it all up just for you. No, man, the Lord not operating like that, right? Everybody eats, man. Go ahead,
y'all had a conversation about this a while ago. But going into that, obviously every man in the kingdom gonna have their own allotment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some brothers might have a larger portion with this and that, but
of course.
overall, in general, it's still gonna seem like we all got it because we brothers.
Yes.
Whatever you got, brother,
I got
it.
it.
So yeah, that's why it's so important to know that, hey, brother, all we trying to do is just make it on the chariot, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. We make it to the chariot. Everything else is already written.
That's it. We're not even gonna be worried about what other men have. Oh, that brother got that. Oh, come on. That's gonna be far gone, brother. Being jealousy gonna be far gone.
Also, like I said, brother, our mind not even gonna be towards that.
Yeah.
Like we ain't even gonna be thinking like that.
Exactly. That's it.
That's how I take out the kingdom.
All we worried about, bro, we just gotta get there, brother. Man, bro, it shouldn't matter what position you in, as long as we get there, bro. That's all, bro. As long as we get there.
Who that was?
He wanted to be a
doorman?
the doorman.
Took it out of my mind, brother. You took it out of my mind. Right?
Man, listen, it don't matter, brother. All right, as long as we get there, bro, that's what's important, bro. Everything else gonna fall in line. All we need to worry about is us. We gonna appreciate being that one with the Father, bro.
Yes.
Everything else gonna follow after that.
Yes, bro.
All right, you got one up.
Just a little. If I could add real quick, because we going to Zechariah 8, it said that when the Lord be returned into Jerusalem, that it's going to be called the city of beauty again. And if the Lord said it's going to be marvelous in his eyes, how do you think it's going to feel for all of us? You see?
So the least
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Verse 14, it says, take that thine is and go thy way. I will give unto this last even as unto thee. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with my own? Is thine eye evil because I am good? So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen. Right, God. So hey, look, going into it, man. Hey, look, man. Paul said, man, take your portion on and give it to somebody else, man. Everybody's gonna get the same, you know what I'm saying? We all did the work for the penny, man. So what are you complaining for?
And you already agreed to the terms and conditions.
Right.
Ain't no change. Don't worry about what no other man got going on. Worry about you and the deal that we made, man.
Right. You signed a contract, ain't no fine print in here. I let you know straight up what it was. So the law said ain't no. So it's like, the law say, look, ain't no God found in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? So take it for what it is.
Obviously, that's the analogy of a worker, but come on, let alone a brother. We talking to brothers, and brother, if we agreed on it, brother, we agreed on it.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
And on top of that, it shouldn't matter. I want what I want for me. I want for my brother, man.
Exactly. Just like Yahushua, he's the heir to the kingdom. He sits at the right hand of the heavenly Father, but he wants to share it with all of us, man. Yeah. So if he's coming in that mindset, how do you think our mindset is going to be? You know, but go ahead.
Yeah, we gonna end it on that.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and 7. It says, "Be not deceived. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap everlasting life."
Keep reading.
In verse 9 it says, and let us, this is verse 9 it says, and let us not be weary in well doing, for due season we shall reap if we faint not. That's sweet. Oh, that walking down the cave. That's crazy. Walking down the cave, that's crazy. I didn't even think about it. It says, verse 10, as we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith. Ye see how large a letter I have written unto you with mine own hand. As many as desire to make a fair shoot in the flesh, they constrain you to be circumcised
Yo, you want me to keep reading?
No, yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, go.
Pass the point, brother.
Yeah, that's it. You just tell me kept reading.
I was talking about
Verse 9,
the
verse 9.
Yeah, okay, it's like. But
read that verse 9.
not again. This is Galatians 6:9. It says, "And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not."
And I'm reading the NLT right fast. All right, Galatians 6:9 in NLT. It says, so let's not get tired of doing what is good, right? At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing. Don't give up, right? And that's the foundation, the premise, of this live lesson, man. Walking down the kingdom, bro. Not giving up and holding it fast, until your house shine, make his promise, and deliver us up out of here. You want to see something?
Yeah, I want to say it. All to man, make it to the kingdom. You gotta keep
Yeah.
walking.
Gotta keep walking. Yeah, we gotta run that race.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, man, with that, well, we gonna get out of here. Before we get out of here, I want to give infinite honors and prayers to
Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
I double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the believers across the four corners, man. Abba Ball,
Abba Ball.
Palm Yasharala,
Palm Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom.